It's Thursday, the 29th of December 2022. A very good evening and warm welcome to Eswatini TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Linda Masugu, and signing with me tonight is Nomaqabiso Nkambule. Here are tonight's headlines. His Majesty King Mswati III has danced the Little Incwala at Mpumalanga Royal Residence in the Lubombo region after 3 days of leading the ceremony at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. On the 7th day of the Little Incwala, Her Majesty the Queen Mother continues to lead regiments in dancing at Lutsitseni Royal Residence, and the Royal Eswatini Police Service under the Fraud Department is worried about scam tactics that are currently emerging. Let's get straight into the news in detail. His Majesty King Mswati III has danced the Little Incwala at Mpumalanga Royal Residence in the Lubombo region after 3 days of leading the ceremony at Ngabezweni Royal Residence. The ceremony has been hugely successful since it started a few days ago.
When the Incwala ceremony began at Lutsitseni Royal Residence 7 days ago, throngs of regiments from all regions of the country arrived at the Royal Residence to observe it with their majesties. His Majesty the King spent 3 days dancing at Lutsitseni before he moved with the Incwala to Ngabezweni Royal Residence, while Her Majesty the Indlovukazi remained dancing at Lutsitseni. His Majesty the King has been leading hundreds of regiments and the nation at Ngabezweni, joined by Emakhosikati, their Royal Highnesses, and the Prime Minister. There has been new developments as the King has now moved with the Little Incwala to Mpumalanga Royal Residence in the Lubombo region. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Sandile Makanya.
On the 7th day of the Little Incwala, Her Majesty the Queen Mother continues to lead regiments in dancing at Lutsitseni Royal Residence. Emaswati are attending the Little Incwala in numbers.
Her Majesty the Queen Mother led regiments in their different categories in dancing the Little Incwala at Lutsitseni Royal Residence. The regiments are the Lutango, the Medians, and La Tolotelago. Also present to dance with Her Majesty were the Emakhosikati to His Majesty and the royal family. Despite the heavy rains that the country is receiving these days, Emaswati still take part in this ceremony without fail. The Little Incwala is on its 7th day. The Incwala ceremony is one of Eswatini's cultural events that has attracted the world as tourists have started flocking into the country to experience such a beautiful ceremony. There is an advantage to the Kingdom of Eswatini because the tourism sector contributes immensely in developing the economy of the country. On the news, I am Polile Mazia at Lutetini Rural Residence.
The government spokesperson Alpheus Ngumalo has assured the nation that all murder cases are being investigated. Ngumalo says social media users should desist from sharing information that causes animosity.
There is absolutely no truth in making inferences that it is the state security agencies that have murdered a mem. First and foremost, if you look the reasons these people are advancing, they are saying it is because the car that was used to kidnap him or abduct him was actually one of the so-called rented cars from South Africa. How many of those rented cars are in our roads in this country? I know of a number of NGOs in this country who are renting the same cars from South Africa. I know a number of individuals in Eswatini who are doing business, who are renting the same cars from South Africa. So just from that perspective, and then you conclude that no, it must be the state security agencies officers who have made that a mem. For me, that is too simplistic a reasoning. So therefore, as government, we would like to urge all members of society, we urge the Eswatini, the Eswatini nation, to be please be patient with the investigations of such occurrences and such situations. It is easy to jump to conclusions without facts and in the process cause a nationwide confusion. And the proper investigations are there, first and foremost, to avoid planting and perpetuating confusion in the country. Mema's unfortunate death will be investigated accordingly, and we have full confidence as government to the security forces that they will establish the truth of what has exactly happened to the life of these young men.
The Royal Eswatini Police Service under the fraud department is worried about scam tactics that are currently emerging, such as scams that have hit the hospitality industry, love scams, and online investment scams. The senior superintendent in fraud awareness, Nicholas Jele, says Eswatini have fallen victim of and scammed over 2 million emalangeni in November and December 2022.
Eswatini have fallen victims of different scams amounting to over 2 million emalangeni in a space of 2 months. The senior superintendent under the Fraud Awareness Office and the Royal Eswatini Police Service, Nicholas Jele, says there are people who check in hotels and submit fake receipts. Jele says the industry has lost money amounting to 9,000 emalangeni. Jele says they are working on 2 cases that were reported related to love scams, where an amount of 36,000 emalangeni was lost. Jele further stated that people are still being scammed online investment, where currently 147,000 emalangeni has also been lost. Jele also highlighted that a sum of 13,000 emalangeni was lost due to job scams.
Lesikubonako kulesikhathi lesinjenganasi kuhlaseleka mhlawumbeni kwanati tindzawo lesingathi ngema hospitality industry kulabo labasebenta ngetindzawo tekubhukisa kulala nekungcebeleka tindwo letinjengaleto. Siyakubona ke kuyacala kuyavela akukase kwaba khona mhlawumbe ngaphambili kodwa nyalo siyakubona lo sekuyavela lo nyaka ekakhulukazi kulesikhathi se festive season kunebantu labafike babhuke bathi bangabhuka bese babhadala ngana kulesingathi ngema fake proof of payment noma ke siciniseko sekubhadala mbumbulu.
Jele applauded Eswatini for being cautious when using ATM machines, as scams related to ATM machines have decreased, as they have received 3 cases where 11,000 emalangeni have been lost. For Eswatini TV News Ndomlangeni, Mbongwa Dube Mbabane.
The Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa Federation of Women in Business locally is inviting the youth and women to join the organization in order to fully benefit from the COMESA World Food Program and FinClude agreement to supply food to schools. This has been said by the local chairperson Incwala during an interview at the George Hotel.
A few months ago, the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa, the World Food Programme and FinClude, signed an agreement for COMESA Federation of Women in Business to start supplying food in schools. The chairperson, Thandi Ncumalo, says this is a great opportunity for the youth and women to make money in the coming year as the project will start. She adds that this is a chance for these groups to make a meaningful contribution to the country's economy, ensuring Eswatini's food stability.
The job opportunities in Ngumbila. Ngobe labanye bayalima, kutabanetikayo, kuya prepare kuya supply. Nangithi kuya supply ke msiyati WFP usupply tikolo. Lokusho ukuthi nje ngendeka lo munye achamuka athi hayi mina ngena la ka transport. Mina I'll be delivering lokudla la etikolweni. So lama job opportunities maningi. Siyacela lokuthi bomake abede sibambisane nisisebenzeni ka comfort. Plane ukuthi sitfole more of bomake. Ngobe lenhlangano lena yabomake bonke eSwatini. Hayi idlazana bonke bomake eSwatini ne youth yethu.
Businesses who are interested in this opportunity can contact the number 7996-2602. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Manzini.
The Municipal Council of Mbabane has conducted the ward boundary variation to better provide services to residents. The Public Relations Officer, Lakitsabete, says this does not mean the council's wards have been added or reduced.
With the population under the Municipal Council of Mbabane recorded at 80,000, the Public Relations Officer says the ward boundary variation has been done to ensure clear demarcation of the boundaries and ensure that no resident is left behind in development.
Libuga kutsi ema-boundaries noma ke alama wadi ethu la ngi-12 edolobheni kungasebenteka kahle nakeme kanjani ungakhanzi ukuthi likhaya linye lenye indlu iwela kulenye lwadi lenye indlu iwela kulenye lwadi so lana besibuka ukuthi tinsita tingafika njani melula esiveni sikhone kuba groupa into particular wards without ukuthi i-community sesiyijabula emkhathini akukashintshi kumbe ukuthi lobeka ku ward 1 so tikhanza sekulelinye lwadini noma ke mawadi lidolobha sangetekile emawadi lidolobha solo anguye 12 njengoba siwadi besizama kuhlelisa ngalendlela leyo nangabe i-community letsite kunemgwaco kumbe lesingakhona kuhlukanisa ngawo ukuthi lana sengiward 1 lona ngiward 3 ngiyabekisa bese sebenzisa leyo feature leyo lengilomgwaco lobo khanza ukuthi phambilini bekungasiko kanjalo.
Tabete says the residents have been consulted on this development and they are still going to be sensitized about the ward boundary variations. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Mbabane.
The Eswatini Tourism Authority has received the Maputo train services with excitement as the project has the potential of boosting the tourism sector. According to Sebenzile Kininza, the project reaffirms the relations that exist between Mozambique and Eswatini and as far as tourists are concerned.
The Eswatini Railway, in collaboration with Eswatini Tourism Authority, has started a pilot project where tourists will be transported through the rail. The Eswatini Tourism Authority's research officer Sebenzile Kininza says this project has a great potential to attract more tourists.
This initiative we see as one angle that we will utilize in terms of creating tourism packages where we will have a lot of visitors from Mozambique visiting Eswatini. And Mozambique is a key market for us, particularly because they form one of the highest spenders within the region. Also, Mozambique has introduced a number of airlines, international airlines, particularly from Portuguese-speaking countries like Brazil and Portugal, which we are hopeful that it will increase the visitor numbers to reach our target. So we are excited and we are hopeful that as the years progress, the tourist train will blossom into a fully fledged train like the ones that we've seen, Blue Train, Shosholoza, that kind of product offering. We also are hopeful that the areas where the train will eventually make stops will also create excitement in terms of product offering within those locations.
The Maputo train service will depart on Saturday and return on Sunday. For Eswatini TV News, Mbongwa Dube, Mbabane.
The Chief Roads Engineer, Vincent Dlamini, says the construction of the Living Waters Primary School pedestrian bridge across the Manzini-Mbadlane Highway will take 6 months and will cost government about 17 million emalangeni. The Chief Roads Engineer says the bridge was needed in the community.
The Chief Roads Engineer says there has been a concern that there is a lot of population around the area, hence government is building the 17 million emalangeni Living Waters Primary School pedestrian bridge across the Manzini-Mbadlane Highway. He says the ministry's mandate is to ensure safe crossings for all eMaswati.
Living Waters and so on. Kwaba nesikhalo ke vele lesaba madima saloku ukuthi in as much as ikhona le overhead crossing lelapha enhla lecondzana nabasemoneni babuka ke bantu basekhonzivele ukuthi iyabagongonya ikhashane ukuthi bangakhona kuyisebenzisa kahle lebe sekudala ke lokho ukuthi bacross lo mgwaco noma ke bawewele lapho kungafanele bawewele khona lebe sekudala ingoti nawanaka nje lapha utawubona lokuthi kugcina sekufakwa lati kwale concrete barrier kugcina sekufakwa le fence labasi clear view bekukutama kuvimba labantu ukuthi bangaweli lo mgwaqo lapha la kungafanele bawele khona ngoba leti moto tsuke tigijima lapho ngiko ke bese sekuthatha lesinqumo kwese ukuthi akwakhiwe le block lapha khona abantu khona kokugibela ladulu nabasuka from luhlangosi lolunye baya kulolunye noma basuka la Living Waters baya kuBokhozivele noma basuka ngaseKhotsivele baya ngale ngesha Living Waters batokwewela ngendlela lephephile ngoba nyalo ayikaphephile indlela bebawela ngayo ngileso lesidingeko lesibe khona saleplo utawuthatha 6 months shothi tawuphela ngaJune tawubita 17 million.
The Chief Roads Engineer says the tender has been awarded to Stefanutis Stocks. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Manzini.
Let's take a look at the financial indicators. In your sports news, the Eswatini Boxing Association continues with dominance at the international bodies. Local boxing coach and instructor Mpendulo Mbingo, who happens to head the Eswatini Coaches Commission, has been nominated amongst the 5 coaches in the African Boxing Confederation Coaches Committee. Mbingo also becomes the second SADC coach to be part of the committee alongside Andile Mofu from South Africa.
Eswatini Boxing Association continues with dominance at the international bodies. Local boxing coach and instructor Mpendulo Mbingo, who happens to head the Eswatini Coaches Commission, has been nominated amongst the 6 coaches in the African Boxing Confederation Coaches Committee. Mbingo also becomes the second SADC coach to be part of the committee alongside Andile Mofu from the Republic of South Africa.
Namuhla ngikhonile kungenela sengilomunye wabo coach labang5 eAfrica. Lotawubuka tindzaba tabo coach si-Africa ukuthi sibo coach singayibambisa njani badlali ukuthi ekugcineni kwakhona kube ngibo laba labawinako. Kuningi ke lesakubuketa silive laseSwatini besibambisene naye SADC sibambisene naye Africa yonkana. Namhlanje naku nami ngicoach sengingenile AFBC kanti sinaye make sibhakela naye board member yaka IBA lapho siphethe khona sibhakeleni emhlabeni wonke jikelele.
The achievement becomes the 3rd under the association, following Mpendulo Dlamini's achievement as board member of the International Boxing Association. Webster Lukele, the president of the association, who was elected as board member of the African Boxing Confederation, and boxer Thabiso Dlamini, who was also elected in the committee of athletes, all coming through this year of 2022. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabis Msonera, Mbabane.
Mbabane Swallows Football Club has unveiled Caleb Mgwenya and Cesar Dlamini as the club's new coaches. The 2 local coaches were unveiled by the club's governor, Sebenele Nhlengetwa. The 2 coaches were given the utmost priority of restoring the club's dignity, winning trophies, and take the team back to international competitions. The 2 coaches were unveiled at the club's offices in Mbabane. And that is how we reach the end of tonight's bulletin. But before we leave you, here are tonight's top stories. His Majesty King Mswati III has danced the Little Incwala at Mpumalanga Royal Residence in the Lubombo region after 3 days of leading the ceremony at Eswatini Royal Residence. On the 7th day of the Little Incwala, Her Majesty the Queen Mother continues to lead regiments in dancing at Eswatini Royal Residence, and the Royal Eswatini Police Service under the Fraud Department is worried about scam tactics that are currently emerging. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.
Dear Santa, my Gogo makes Christmas the best this time.
Get the best deals of the season and save big on Cross & Blackwell Tangy Mayonnaise, only $32.99. And Polar Ice Cream, just $79.99. Bring home the magic of Christmas with our low prices, only at ShopRite.
Brightly shining, it is the light of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and hell pining, till we are being and the soul defiled its worth. A tree